Hey, I'm Jason Moon Wilkins. I'm inside the Sonic Cathedral here at WNXP with the artist David.
Hello.
Hello.
What's going on?
Oh man, thank you for being here.
Of course.
You are busy. You
I
have a new
know.
record coming out. You've got a lot going on.
Yeah.
But you
I
took
love
some
it though.
time.
I love it though.
Yeah.
I don't like, being bored.
No,
So there's always something to do.
you've been very productive. Come a long way from putting together music for montages for Fortnite. You recorded some of the first stuff that came out, if I'm reading correctly, in a closet with an iPhone.
Mm-hmm.
And now you have 2 songs over 1 billion streams.
Right.
It's massive. You have several other that are moving towards that. You have songs in shows like Arcane and Invincible. Big festival appearances. We saw you at Bonnaroo. When I was talking to my son this morning, we're both big fans. I said, what would you ask David if you were sitting here?
Okay.
And he said, are you having fun?
Oh, for sure.
Is this what you thought it might be,
For
getting
sure.
to get this level of success?
I mean, I really don't have expectations for this thing because it was all thrown at me through Fortnite. It
Yeah.
was really supposed to be just Fortnite, playing video games, but it's so fun, dude. Yeah, it's so fun.
What doors has it opened up for you that you didn't expect?
The TV show, it's like a new gateway into anime and projects like that because I never would have ever thought I'd be able to go to Japan before music. And I've been to Japan 3 times, and I love Japan so much. I love anime so much. And I've been able to talk to like my favorite anime composers, Yuki Hayashi, and just like being able to get into that world through music has been the greatest experience ever.
Well, and like you said, a lot of your introduction to the now fan base that you have was through gaming. How have you seen that impact the way you write songs, how you construct things? There's a lot of narrative arcs in gaming, or even maybe the multi-genre approach, because when you play a game, a lot of times they have a soundtrack and music jumps all over the place. Have you seen that impact the way you create?
Oh, absolutely. I feel like the chaotic and sporadic nature of video game music and soundtracks in general kind of shapes the way that I make music as well. And then also the factor that I didn't listen to music till I was like 13 because my parents were like, it's only gospel and classical music in our house. So I
Wow.
really started discovering music very recently too. That's why I have such a kind of broad, eclectic view to music and an unorthodox way of making it and structuring songs. And that's why all my songs sound so weird to like a classically trained ear because the bridge is in the correct place. The second verse is not supposed to be that way. The chorus is 2 lines long. Like Romantic Homicide has no chorus. And
Right, yeah.
it's like all these different things that people that make music would call wrong. But what I do is I just focus on making songs.
Yeah. That's fascinating. We were recently talking to another artist, Monrovia, very similar story of not having access to anything outside of gospel music till the teen years, and also ended up sort of multi-genre in the approach. We found that a lot with there's something about the restriction and then
Yeah.
the expansion that
Yeah.
happens that it opens up a different level of creativity.
Right.
It probably wasn't so much fun when you were 10, but
right. Yeah, nah, I don't take it for granted at all. I feel like everything's a stepping stone and everything happens for a reason for sure.
well, you've got this new record coming called Withered, and
My first album.
it's your debut album. You put out projects. It's not like you don't have stuff out there. You
I
got a lot.
I got some things.
But it's an album. What does that mean to you, having your debut record coming?
Having an album out is like what solidifies you as an artist. Like, I've been a songwriter and a singer this whole time, and then once I get the album out, I can finally say that I'm an artist because that project kind of is you. That's you. Your debut album is David. So I feel like the little tastemakers I put out in all the singles I've dropped, EPs I've kind of put together has been the lead up to this project, and it's been structured in such a way where it feels like the first 2 EPs were a hello, and this debut is a goodbye to this era that we in. That's why it's called Withered, because I view my career and the music I make as like this beautiful thing, like a rose, where it's beautiful at face value because of the petals, but then you look to the stem and it has thorns in it. So you listen to my music, it's beautiful lyrics, beautiful da-da-da, but then you actually listen to it and dive deeper into it, and it's actually like the hurtful words and things that really make you think and be introspective that really count for me personally. So that's why it's called Withered.
And when you say this is the end of this Rose era, then?
I would say that my entire career has been like based off this one flower for so long. I think it's time to move to a different flower. we gotta go.
There are different flowers in the world, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you've built this following, this intense fan base, and that's helped open doors for you, including big festival appearances. And when I saw you, we were talking earlier, at Bonnaroo, first of all, as we discussed. For anybody who was there, it was super hot. You sweated and worked right through it.
Yeah.
But while you were playing, I was also thinking, okay, there is a number of people in this audience. You're on a big stage who know who you are, who are way into you. But because of the way media works now, there's a certain amount of people in a setting like that who your name is still new to them. You know, they're still walking up, who is this guy? How do you approach performance in that kind of setting where it's different than folks who are just coming to see you?
That's an interesting question. I feel like I just treat them like they already there to see me. I think it's like people think about it too much. Oh my gosh, those aren't my fans. They're gonna not like me. I gotta perform a certain way for new people. It's like, nah. If the way I was acting before brought the new fans in, why do I gotta change it to then bring more new fans in? So I just treat them like they already know the music. They already vibe with it. You know, I may dumb it down a little bit, you know, but I'll just treat it the same way.
Well, you had a ton of energy that day, despite the heat. It was really fun.
Yep.
You grew up in Houston, and like you said, weren't really a part of music or even being exposed to music until early teen years. Did you ever connect with people in Houston, or was your connection really more worldwide on a musical level?
You know what? That's a good question. I don't really know. I think it was more worldwide instantly because I found like when I dropped the Romantic Homicide snippet and then I was promoting that song on TikTok, all the comments were from all over the world. I was seeing like Asia, like Spanish people, like everybody was just vibing with the music at the same time. So it was like an international thing all together. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you're here in Nashville. Are there Nashville connections?
Hey, yeah. Got some Nashville connections. I think what's my Spotify thing out here? Like Nashville, one of my top cities. So
Really?
yeah, I rock with Nashville heavy for sure.
We're going to take full credit for that.
Absolutely. You already know. You already know.
There was something when looking up that I have no idea what this is, and I want you to explain this to me.
All right.
In your fan community, talk about the idea of IT4MI. Is that
with Tommy.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's my alter ego. So like I said earlier, I'm a big fan of anime.
Yeah.
One of my favorite animes is Attack on Titan. And Code Geass.
Yeah.
In those two animes, the protagonist is the antagonist. So you don't know it at first, but as the story progresses on, you realize that the entire story has been the main character fighting himself the whole time. So I took that, and I had this concept for like years, since even before music, that I would have this alter ego that was the evil version of me, and that would wear a blindfold because he would be blind to the evil that he does. And in the story I had back then, it was a detective. So a detective would have to solve his own crime. So he would commit the crimes as a Tommy, and then he would wake up, snap out of it, and then he have to solve his own crimes. So with this, I have he appears in a bunch of my music videos and a bunch of like the artwork I do and my overall aesthetic as like the mirrored shadow evil version of me. That's who Tommy is.
When you were in Japan, did you pitch that?
Absolutely. Oh, you got, bro. Come on. I'm trying to get an anime. I'm trying to get a manga. I'm trying to get comic books, man. I'm trying to get everything. Yup.
I still haven't been able to sell my son on the really old school OG anime Robotech, but
I've never heard Robotech.
See, that's what. Okay, all right.
That's really old.
Yeah, it is. It is nearly as old as me.
Wow.
It's one of those like establish the idea probably through the lens of anybody who's watching modern anime. They're like, what?
Is it kind of like Transformers or like
it is
Evangelion?
I'm trying to. If you like, if you like Attack on Titan,
okay,
you may like it.
Okay.
Anyway, besides Robotech, well, last question for you. So, as you are preparing to roll this out, you've hit a bunch of other pretty big moments already as an artist. What are you hoping that this album might do for you?
I hope that it brings everything to the next level. I think the experience that my fans have had growing with me since 2022 with the first two projects, and then seeing the progression through all the tours, touring with SZA, going all the headlines, kind of just establishing this fan base. I want this to kind of propel the sound, propel the interaction and the actual reaction to the music, because with my last two projects, it was like I was homeschooled writing things about TV shows and movies, like I wrote Here With Me about Up, and it was a whole vicarious experience. It wasn't like me for real, but this album is like my life, my experiences the last 2 years, how the relationships I've had have came and went, friendships came and went. Everything feels very vulnerable and raw this time, and I feel like people are going to hear that through the music as well.
Well, we appreciate you sharing it. We appreciate you taking the time.
Of course.
Thank you, David.
Thank you.